Welcome to Free Motion Challenge Day 1. I'm Kim Master Martino from Line Design. I'm just going to get settled in here. I have my whiteboard and my marker and an eraser. So grab your whiteboard or grab some pen and paper. I tend to use Expo Fine Tip, or it's called Fine, for this practice to try to get as thin a line as possible. And I love using a whiteboard because, as you can see, I can go over and over and over again. So this week is going to be all about developing, one of the steps in free motion quilting is getting the patterns into our brain and thinking about the parts of the pattern. So I hope you took a couple of minutes to take a look at the slow looking, to really think about how you're looking at these patterns, and that's going to help too to get those patterns in our brain. So with your pen or with your marker, I'm going to ask you to draw or write an O, write a C, print a T, print an S, and print an L or an E. They're both the same, just one a little bit. If you can do those 5 letters, you can do almost any pattern in free motion quilting. Most of them are combinations of these patterns. So over the week, I'm going to challenge you each day to really look out in the world and find some of these shapes. So today, we're going to start with a loop. And that loop is going to be an L. So practice number 1 for today is that L. So I'll challenge you to draw an L from one side of your paper or whiteboard to the other. And the challenge becomes, can you get that height consistent? And is the spacing between consistent? So take your marker again and let's go all the way across. Doesn't have to be fast, it can be slow. But you're aiming at some consistency, and don't worry too much at the beginning. You know, yours might look a little bit like that, and that's okay. What you're aiming for is that feeling of, this is working. I'm basically getting things fairly consistent. So think about how that feels when you get things fairly consistent, because now I'm going to invite you to go the other direction, because in free motion quilting, we can go in any direction. So take a minute and think about what is the first step of that loop. So step 1 is coming up, step 2 around, and step 3 is down. So we want to think about step 1, where am I going to go up? And if you're left-handed, you might be going the other direction. So I am going to go up, around, and down. So again, I'm aiming at a smooth movement across. I'm aiming at trying to get fairly consistent height and distance between my L's. That's going to take a little bit of time, and even me going left to right doesn't feel as good going top to bottom. So we've got left to right, we've got right to left, and now we're going to go top to bottom. So again, I'm going to take a minute and think about what is step 1. I'm going to get my loop going and around. Top to bottom. And the last part of that practice is bottom to top. Again, I'm going to first start, think about where my loop goes. Top to bottom. So practice number 1 is let's get some consistency of our L's. Practice number 2 today. We're going to vary the shape between tall and short. So again, I'm going to think about how it starts. Go one direction. I'm going to go the other direction. Going to go top to bottom, and bottom to top. So again, I don't do this as often, so my shapes are not as consistent, but I'm getting there, and you will too. So I first start thinking, where's the first part of that loop? I go tall, short. So in my head, I'm going tall, short, tall, short. So your challenge today is to practice these two types of loops until you feel fairly comfortable and you see improvement. So I challenge you today, do one sheet or one whiteboard, take a picture of it, because on Friday you'll want to see your improvement. So I really challenge you to take that picture, and tomorrow or today in the newsletter you can post that on Facebook, because it's really about practicing and feeling comfortable and the process rather than the product. We find so many times people, post products, but that's not really helpful to other people because I can't see how to do the process. So on my Facebook page, Line Design, I encourage you to post a picture of your practice and how you felt about it, or what you feel that you're improving in it. And by Friday, you'll be able to see so much beautiful change that you will be ready and raring to go when it comes to putting some of these patterns on your quilts. So I challenge you today to take 15 minutes now, practice the two type of loops, and go out and find, where do you see some of these loops? Do you see them on a piece of a pretzel? Do you see them on a loop of a flower? And just challenge yourself to take some time to observe these loops and to observe the angles and how they are in the real world. And tomorrow when you come back, we're going to be doing some wonderful patterns with these loops that will be really, really exciting. So have fun, and we will see you tomorrow.